Hola, bienvenidos.
Welcome to beautiful Guatape.
Buenos dias, good morning country collectors. If you tuned in last week, you joined us in the metropolis of Medellin, Colombia.
Well, this week we have headed a bit east to the vibrant, relaxing town of Guatape.
As you can see, it is full of color, art, and stunning landscapes, and we can't wait to share it all with you.
But before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any of our future adventures.
All right, let's do this. To get here from Medellin, we made our way to the North Terminal. There we purchased our tickets at window 14 to Guatape for 19,000 COP each. The journey took us outside of the city and through lush green rolling farmland. We even got a glimpse of El Peñón de Guatape, which we will be climbing in this video. 2 hours after leaving Medellin, we arrived here where we loaded in a tuk-tuk and were brought to our accommodations at Casa Pastora.
This place has been great. It's in a quiet part of town with so many colorful homes around. We have a small but cozy room that also has a private bathroom. There's lots of shared spaces as well that we've been enjoying, and every morning she serves up a scrumptious breakfast and you really can't ask for more. We definitely recommend this place.
Well, enough of those pesky logistics. It is time to have some fun. We're gonna make our way back to the town later to explore its colorful streets, but first thing on the list today is going over to El Peñón de Guatape. It's one of the main reasons people come to visit this town.
This giant rock formation is one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of Colombia. It's about 5 kilometers from the town, and the most popular and fun way to get there is in a colorful tuk-tuk. So why don't we go find one, hop in, and get this day started.
And as we're walking down to get a tuk-tuk, we saw people doing Tai Chi in the park. There's some horses grazing, having some breakfast.
It's so beautiful and peaceful here. And check it out, on the way into town, we walked by the colorful Guatape letters, which, as you know, is a great place to snap a photo. We'll be coming back here later. This is down on the Malecón, so we can explore a little bit more. And you know I can't start my day off without some fuel. As you're walking around town, you are gonna see so many bakeries, and more importantly, you are gonna smell them because they are everywhere. We just stopped by Riquezas de la Mi Tierra, and I picked up a jamón y queso little pastelito here, I believe is what he said. Let's jump into this and see how it is. This just came out of the oven. It is so nice, gooey inside, hot ham. I'm digging it. And I needed to take a second to stop and tell you, this is the best jamón y queso breakfast treat I have ever had, ever in the world. Definitely stop by and say hi to the owner and grab one of these. He's a real sweetheart.
All right, this guy just pulled up. He's got a really nice colorful tuk-tuk. We're like, this is the one. He said it's gonna be 15,000 COP. He's just filling up with gas, and then we're gonna go. Come along. Buenos dias. And off we go. And there he is, just in front of us.
It's huge.
As you can see, we have made it, and the view from here is spectacular, but the ride in, it took about 10 minutes, and we passed the reservoir. There were a lot of farms, and I'm so glad we took that tuk-tuk because...
When you get dropped off by the road, like when we took the bus into town, they actually drop people off there. You have to walk up a pretty serious, rough incline to get up to where we are right now.
But there were tuk-tuks at the bottom there,
That's
so I
true.
believe they can take you up here if you don't want to walk. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
Get a tuk-tuk.
But behind us here
is El Peñón de Guatape, or the Rock of Guatape. It's so beautiful. It's so huge. Look at that blue sky behind it. I know you can see it, but can you smell it? Like, can you smell what the rock is cooking?
People tend to say that Adam looks like Dwayne Johnson.
Especially in Central America and South America, Latin Americas are like, the rock, the rock. I'm like, see?
Or Vin Diesel.
Or Vin Diesel, Vin Diesel.
All right, well, let's get going. You can see the steps we're gonna have to climb.
Whoa, no one said anything about steps.
Are you ready?
I guess.
And I'll be honest, we haven't even made it to the entrance, just walking uphill and up these stairs over here, and I'm already tired for a couple of reasons. One, I am not in the best of shape, but this rock sits at 6,000 feet of elevation, so you are pretty high, so you're gonna get quite winded. So I just want to say, take your time, you know, plan out a whole afternoon or morning for this and just enjoy it as much as you can. Remember, it's not a race.
As you can see, we are standing in front of the entrance here. We just purchased our tickets for 20,000 pesos each. They only take cash, so make sure that you bring some along with you. This rock above me here stands 200 meters tall and has 708 steps. No one told me there were going to be that many steps, which means it's 1,416 steps round trip. So I hope you brought some comfortable shoes. Are you ready for this? Yes? No? Well, we're doing it anyway. Come along.
50 down, 658 to go. We got this.
We're at about step 150, and look at this view already. I can only imagine what it's going to be like when we get up higher. You can see this parking lot behind me here that just has a few cars in it and a couple of buses. Imagine this in a couple of hours. This is going to be packed, so you might be behind people trying to get up to the top all the way. So get here before 9 if you can. This is going to give you a lot more time to really take it all in and enjoy it.
Without the crowds.
Yes.
And while I was doing my research, I read that geologists estimate this rock to be over 65 million years old. It used to be worshipped by the local indigenous, and it was declared a national monument in the 40s. And just behind me here, about halfway up, it looks like there's a little shrine to the Virgin Mary. So it's a nice place to get a break and just check out the view some more.
Heidi asked me to tell you how I'm feeling, and to be honest, I am winded. I know I'm not in the best of shape, but these are a lot of steps. We are past halfway though. I can't wait to get up there and check out this view. Just hit 475, on to 500.
And I think we got so lucky with the weather today and this blue sky. And you're probably wondering about this water and what look like islands down there. We'll tell you about those when we get to the top. Less than 100 to go.
650. It's called me Peloncito.
It looks like we have made it up to like the first platform here, 659 steps. The birds are actually right in line with us now.
So incredible.
There's a little cafe over here, some tables with umbrellas so you can sit down and get a drink or a little snack. But over here
is the tower.
Yeah.
The final little push to get to the highest and best view.
The little mirador, so why don't we head up?
We are almost there, and it's so much cooler inside this little rock structure right here, like 15 degrees easily. I can definitely make it to the end now.
Woohoo! Look at this, we have made it. 708 steps completed, and the view from up here, I can already see it. Let's check it out together.
Wow. This is incredible. The view, I don't even know what to say. This green just kind of goes on forever. There's farms down there, all the little houses. The sky is so blue. And you see all this water down here? It has not been here for that long. About 50 years ago, this all changed. Like
Adam said, 50 years ago, this was all farmland. There was no water here. And that's because back in the 70s, the government wanted to build a hydroelectric dam, so they had to flood this area and build a reservoir for that. And it ended up Guatape and El Peñol actually lost a lot of land during that process, but it did create this stunning view, and now the hydroelectric dam provides over 33% of all of Colombia's electricity.
And I don't know what's up with all these swarming bugs up here, but get out of here.
I know, they're everywhere, like these little flies. Look at them. So just be prepared.
True fly, don't bother me. And of course, you have to exit through the gift shop.
Yeah. Isn't that a movie?
I think so. And as you're heading down, there's all these people just enjoying these well-deserved drinks after climbing all those steps.
I know, and the sun keeps coming and going. It's so nice. And check out what I got. Breakfast of champions. This is the first thing I'm eating today. Unfortunately, I can't have gluten, so everything Adam has in the morning, those fun little pastries, I'm kind of out of that.
Sorry, babe.
It's okay, but we've been seeing this flavor all over. It's called mango biche, I believe, and it's green mango, so it's going to be a lot less sweet than the yellow mango. A little bitter, bitter, and I was trying to like get the spoon out. I'm like, it won't come out, and the guy was like, yeah, flip it, and then you just eat it like this. Ooh, that's good. That's different, but delicious. It's a little more bitter than the yellow mango. I like it. Gotta eat it quick because it's gonna melt. And while we're appreciating this dramatic landscape, we would love to appreciate our newest patrons.
Haley and Corinne.
Thank you so much for joining our Patreon community.
We love having you along on these adventures, and today we are dedicating this incredible view and all of those steps to you.
We did those for you.
That's right.
So thanks again, and if you would like to join our community, we'll put a link in the description below. Well, we got about 659 steps down, so we'll see you at the bottom. Hey, welcome back, and as you can see, we have made it down, and it was a lot easier.
It really was, and it was shaded on the way down because the down steps are on the inside of the crack that we climbed up on before, and you're gonna notice there are way more people coming up than when we came because it's getting later, and it's just like the tour buses are here and all the tourists are coming in.
So come early. And behind us here, this is Luis Lopez. There's a little plaque here and it says that he was the first man to climb this monolith. We also heard that he ended up buying it from a farmer and converting it into this sort of tourism.
Tourist attraction, He has passed on, but his sons are carrying on the tradition. There's 4 of them, and they actually own all the restaurants and things down here as well, so they're doing pretty well.
Imagine. Wow.
What a fun activity. You get some exercise and the best view in town. When you come down, you can buy a souvenir, get something to eat before you head back to town, which is what we're gonna do right now. Come along. Welcome back to town. On the way here, we asked our cab driver, what is your favorite restaurant? And he said, Mirador del Lago, the view of the lake. And let me tell you, this place delivers. They have 5 floors, all with amazing views. Looking out, there's boats just cruising by. The people are on the Malecon. The clouds are just kind of floating in that blue sky. It's absolutely beautiful, and they're playing some very traditional and fun music. We just ordered up some delicious treats, so we'll see you when they get here.
Are you serenading that plate?
Oh, I am. I got the bandeja paisa con trucha. This is the national dish of Colombia, but instead of having 4 or 5 different kinds of meat on it, it came with this entire piece of fried trout. There's some beans, rice, eggs, arepa, a plantain, and salad. It is like the kitchen sink of meals, and I am so excited to jump into it.
And I know earlier we said this place was very relaxing and tranquil, but as you can hear, it's quite noisy. We're on the main road. Throughout the day, a lot of tours come through here. There's trucks passing through, but after 4, that seems to be when everyone leaves and it really calms down. So I guess you just gotta wait it out a little bit. But as you can see, I got the sancocho con pollo. I got this when we were in Panama and I absolutely loved it. It's a nice chicken stew. It has some corn, potatoes, and carrots with a nice clear broth. And on the side it came with rice and arepa and a salad. So why don't we jump in?
As you're walking around, you're gonna notice that trucha or trout is on a lot of the menus at the restaurants here, so I figured I have to try it. They have a picture on the wall over here. They said the specialty of the house is actually trout with cheese and shrimp on top. I've never heard of such a thing, but we're gonna have to try that in our next video. I'm gonna stick with my fried trout right now though. It looks delicious. Let's taste it out. It's crispy, nice and warm. The fish is super moist, and there are no bones in there.
There you go. And my little soup here is absolutely delicious. So we're just gonna take our time, enjoy this, enjoy the views, and then we will see you down in the Central Plaza.
We have found ourselves here in the Central Park in town, the Plaza Principal. It's a great place to come down and relax, enjoy the nature, look at the statues, just sit in the shade. It's surrounded by bars and restaurants. And behind me here is the Parroquia Nuestra Señora del Carmen.
This striking church was built in 1856, and as you can see, it's just so beautiful. That white really stands out with the red. Make sure to take a step in and appreciate its beauty inside as well. But I think my favorite thing are these wooden crosses on top, and we learned that they weren't added that long ago. They're so cute.
A lot of the information that we are going to be sharing with you today, we actually learned on a tour we took yesterday with Guatape free walking tours. They actually leave right over here in front of the church Monday through Saturday at 2 and 4 p.m.
Our lovely guide Beatrice took us throughout the town explaining its history pertaining to the building of the dam as well as these zocalos. These are the most distinctive feature of the town that we're gonna get more into, and you can see one right here on the church.
And we absolutely recommend taking this tour because they show you so many things that you would miss on your own, and that history really enriches the whole experience that you get when you're here.
Earlier we showed you the view from La Piedra, absolutely gorgeous, but what we didn't talk about was how it affected the people here. As you can imagine, under the water was farmland, people's homes and urban areas. El Peñol actually lost their urban areas but kept their farmland. So that's why as you're driving through, you'll still see a bunch of green rolling hills and agriculture growing. Here in Guatape, they lost the farmland but kept the urban center.
As you can imagine, the loss of their land created some incredible hardships to the people, and many moved away while others chose to move here to the town. But that didn't solve the problem of how they were going to make money. Where was the economy going to come from? So they came up with this very good idea to bring tourism here, and right here behind me, these zocalos were the key to that.
And I know for us, when we first heard the term zocalo, our minds immediately went to Mexico and their central plazas, but here zocalos referred to these raised designs located on the baseboards of the buildings.
And as you can see, they are everywhere.
Woo! Do that little spin. Now strike a pose.
And behind me here is the home where the first zocalo was ever created by Jose Maria Para Jimenez, and he actually made it inside. You can actually see it right inside the door here. It's a lamb. It's a very simple design, but it served a very special purpose.
And that purpose was for protection, because back in the day, these homes were built out of adobe, those mud bricks that were very susceptible to humidity, so they would deteriorate quite easily. So he came up with this idea to build the zocalo, which was made out of cement, to protect the building from the elements and the animals.
At first, even though it was a smart idea, it wasn't widely accepted until the church 90 years ago decided that it was okay to make zocalos, and it started to spread throughout the town. But they really took off back in the 80s after the dam, when they decided they had to find a new way to bring people here to create an economy through tourism. And that's when these really took off, and you started to find them all over the city. It's called the Zocalization Project, and it's on almost every home here.
Just check this out. Look how visually stunning this place is. This town has to be the most colorful one in Colombia. And while you're walking around, you're gonna notice some are very simple designs, whilst others are more complex. This one behind me, as you can see, is very simple. It's made from a silicone mold and provided by the municipality.
Whereas this one here is far more intricate and was paid for privately by the owner, who brought in an artist to create this for them to their specific standards. But our favorite ones are
the ones that highlight the businesses and tell a story. This little cutie behind me here, can you guess what this business is? If you guessed a bakery, you are correct.
Or this one right here, it shows the people when they had to be relocated after they flooded the region to make the dam. You can see they have all of their possessions with them. They're bringing their livestock, the children, they got the kitchen sink, everything, and they're making their way up to the town here where you can see the church from the Plaza Principal. And any guesses what this one is for right here? If you said a billiards hall, you are correct.
And there are some that are a bit more traditional, whilst others are more modern. We have found ourselves here on Calle del Recuerdo, aka Memory Street. It's the most iconic street in town and an architectural heritage. I read that it is a replica of a street that was flooded during the building of the reservoir.
As you make your way down the road, you are gonna see so much color and wonderful zocalos. There's some shops where you can buy some souvenirs, as well as a very beautiful fountain down at the bottom, and a historic museum right here where you can go in and learn a little bit about the history of the region, as well as the building of the dam that made the reservoir here.
But my favorite thing in the museum is there's actually a zocalo of Jose Jimenez creating the first one.
And just across the street is another beautiful plaza, so let's head over. And as we make our way down to Plazoleta de Zocalos, this is the most impressive zocalo that we have seen so far, and the largest. The details in this are just incredible. Even just the border up here, it's birds and flowers with so much detail. The horses that the men are riding on, you can actually see the muscles in their legs. He's created this perspective that just makes you feel like they're jumping out at you. Even the city down below, the buildings pictures are layered with the mountains in the background at different heights that just really blows your mind. And make sure to keep those peepers peeping for stuff like this right here. They've actually created this perspective where it looks like you're going out a window, and they have the umbrella street behind it. You can go inside and take a photo. Speaking of umbrella streets, we're going to be heading down to a super colorful one right now.
The same one right here.
It is the same one, but bigger.
Yeah, sorry, let's head down.
As you can see, we have made it here to Plazoleta del Zocalo. Behind me here are these colorful stairs that are covered with the designs we've been seeing throughout the town. It's a wonderful place to come and just sit in the square, do some people watching. They have restaurants and cafes surrounding it. And then in front of me here is that umbrella street. So as you can see, it is very touristy. Everyone's down here taking those perfect Instagram photos. But I will say the town has done a great job. Like, it doesn't feel too touristy. Some people might feel that, but I certainly don't. And if you want to get a little bit away from that, you can just go back on the streets and feel more of the magic.
And just up behind where those colorful Zocalo steps are and that big silver carp is a cafe that we want to check out. It's called Cafa Cafe. And since we're in Colombia, you know we have to get as much coffee in as possible because it's so good from here. Let's go in and check it out.
But you don't mean we.
No, I just mean me. Heidi and caffeine, they don't go together.
Yeah, we're like oil and vinegar.
That's true. Man, that hit the spot, especially since it's heated up quite a little bit today. We went in and got a nice little seat, but the music was playing and we couldn't really film while we were in there. But I got a Nevado. It is a delicious chocolate milkshake with coffee in it.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. I had a couple of sips, and then
I had more than a couple of sips and all my whipped cream.
I had the Herba Buena con piña. It was like a slushy, so good. But right next door,
they have something that, I wonder if they're working together. You know, you have something really sweet and then you got to get your teeth fixed. They have a dentist, and the Zocalo out front is hilarious and so accurate. I just loved it.
Well, I think it's time for another little snack. We have frequented this spot. We've probably been there, what, 3 times by now? Yep. And it would be quite a crime to not take you there, so let's head over.
We have arrived at Cafe Bar in La Esquina, which means on the corner, because this place is literally on the corner of the Plaza Principal. I walked in, the lady was like, "Oh, it's you again." At least that's what I think she said in Spanish. But she makes the best arepas that you will ever have. We've had them all over Latin America, and I feel like this is just #1 by far.
Arepas con queso.
Arepas con queso. It's nothing but maize and mozzarella on the inside. She throws a little mantequilla butter on there, and then she puts some condensed milk on top. If you want, I go condensed milk, Heidi goes traditional, so we get a little bit of everything.
They're hot, aren't they?
Ooh, they are hot and they look delicious. I can't wait to jump into these. Why don't we head down to the Malecón and enjoy these together? As you can see, we've made it down to the waterfront here, but before we get into these boats and this beautiful water with the blue sky, we got to get into this arepa right here. It looks so good, and as you can see, I'm the one with the condensed milk on mine.
I'm a bit more savory of a person.
Look how gooey that is.
You love the sweets.
Wow. It's hot, it's creamy, it's cheesy, and it's sweet all at the same time. I am loving this. And those were so delicious that I even kissed the cook. Gracias.
You what?
Oops.
Down here on the Malecón, you will notice that there are a ton of little boat rentals, jet ski rentals. There's gonna be guys saying lancha, 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 or jet skis, asking you if you wanna go out on them. Adam actually was just talking to a guy, and he went with him down here to check the prices, just figure out what kind of tours that they provide. So hopefully we can do that.
They walked me through the pricing and showed me a little flip book of the things we'd be seeing. It's a 35 to 45 minute tour. They said it'd be $150,000 for the boat itself and $30,000 for an English speaking guide, which is in addition to the normal pricing because they don't have that many English speaking guides. But it sounds pretty good to me. On a day like this, it's so beautiful. We have to take advantage of it. So let's head down to the dock and go out and have some fun on the water.
Sounds good.
Check it out. We are on the boat. We're just waiting for our English guide to come down here so we can really get that history while we're out there. I'm so excited, and we hope you are too.
And the company we are going with is called Merak, M-E-R-A-K, Guatape. And it looks like they are untying us, and we're off!
Yeah, baby, look at us. We're on a boat. I'm on a boat. Yeah! All right, we are back. Let's get on the dry land and talk to you about our tour.
And I'm not sure why we thought we would be able to film on the boat. Obviously, it's a bit loud with the wind.
It really was, but it was so beautiful out there. The clouds are absolutely massive right now, just kind of surrounding the entire reservoir. You can see the mountains in the distance. There's trees on all the banks. It was so nice.
Yeah, and along the way, we went to a couple of spots. I think we stopped at 5 or 6 places. We saw Fantasy Island, which is a place you can go out and stay there, rent a house, bring 8 of your friends, and she said it's quite inexpensive.
Like 200,000 for a night,
Yeah.
which is not bad at all.
Not with 8 of you, no. And then we also went to Pablo Escobar's Lovers. We got to see her house as well as where his security was. And then we also got up close and personal, sort of, with La Piedra.
I mean, we got to see the other side with the big GI painted on it. We didn't mention that before, but someone tried to claim it. We said it's between the two towns. They tried to write Guatape on the side, but they only got the G and part of the U.
Before El Peñol, the other town came by, and obviously they were angry, and they're like, stop
"You
doing
can't do that."
Yeah. So that's the story behind that. And then we went and stopped at another hotel along the way and saw some mansions. Yeah.
Some guy was doing the little jet boarding where he's shooting up in the air from the water. Very cool.
But I mean, it's obvious that a lot of people who have money here, this is like where they come to escape on the weekends. This is like their vacation home. So we got to see a lot of those big homes, which
Apparently Shakira has a house here too. Don't tell anybody. Shakira.
But yeah, it's just another wonderful activity to do while you're here.
Well, that sun is going down and it is time to say goodbye. It's the toughest time of the day for us because we love spending time with you.
I know. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it, this colorful place.
It was so beautiful. I really enjoyed all that art and that history and even climbing the rock 1,400 steps later and I'm still smiling. So it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, and you know, if you can come for a night or two, we definitely recommend that. But if you can't, you know, a day trip is great as well. But as you can see right now, it's a lot more calm. Everyone on the day trips have gone home. So this is a great time to just enjoy it. You know, the tranquility of this town. If you would like to take a day trip that we can recommend, some of our friends have done it. It's another Get Your Guide tour. It has great reviews. We will put the link to that in the description below.
But seriously, thank you so much for coming along with us today because it would have been nowhere near as much fun if you hadn't been here to share it with.
But yes, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to
Ling, 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 the bell.
We'll see you
next time.
Adios.